talk, real people, relevant conversations. The I Am Kiana Scales podcast is dedicated to real conversations about issues, emotions, and experiences that affects the lives of everyday people. Scales podcast, episode 44, sponsored by the Closet Experience Boutique. I'm your host, Kiana Scales. Today marks the exciting launch of our third interview in the Dream Chaser series. In this installment, we dive deep into the life of another individual who embodies the fearless pursuit of passion and the unwavering commitment to making a mark on the world. Each guest in this series brings a unique story of resilience and determination. Join us as we uncover the inspiring journey and untold stories that have shaped these remarkable individuals. Get inspired once again as we continue our exploration with the Dream Chaser series. Listener land, Alicia Haymer is a celebrated figure in Nashville's arts community and a proud graduate of Fisk University. With over 20 years of experience, she has made significant contributions as an actress, director, and writer. Her notable film credits include a role in Lifetime's Steppin Into The Holiday. On stage, she has delivered powerful performances in acclaimed productions such as Pipeline, Calendar, and her most recent role in Only Fam. Her directorial skill is evident in her exceptional adaptations of August Wilson's works, including Seven Guitars, The Piano Lesson, and Joe Turner's Come and Gone. Her captivating presence on stage and screen, combined with her talent for bringing complex characters and stories to life, sets her apart as a visionary. Her transformative storytelling continue to shape and enrich the cultural landscape of Nashville and beyond. Welcome to the I Am Kiana Scales podcast, Alicia!
Thank you. That was awesome.
So welcome. I'm honored to have you as our guest on the Dream Chaser series, baby.
I'm honored to be here. I am.
Yes. As we dive into your story, can you recount the earliest memory that sparked your imagination and set you on the path as a dreamer?
I think it probably started with my parents because my brother was like 10 years older than me. So I really did a lot of things with my parents. So they always took me to concerts. They always took me to the movies. So growing up, I was always like engrossed in the arts. So yeah, it would start with like my earliest memories, like going to see Stevie Wonder when he came to MTSU, or going to see like Stephanie Mills.
Oh, come on now, Stephanie Mills.
When I was little, but they took me everywhere. So yeah.
Oh, wow. So what does the term dream chaser signify to you?
I think it signifies perseverance. Hard work, dedication, focus, everything you need, because, you know, just having a dream isn't enough. You have to put the action behind it.
Yes.
So being a dream chaser means that you're willing to put the action behind it too.
Most definitely. I talk about that all the time. That faith without works.
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing. You have to put action. It's a verb, people.
Right.
That means you got to get up and do something.
Right.
I think Goody Mob told you got to get up, get out and do something.
And get something.
Yes. You have the titles of actor, playwright, and director. How does each of these titles appeal to you?
Acting is so much fun because I get to just lose myself in a character and be someone totally different from myself, which is very freeing in a way, because anything you do on stage or on film, it's not you, it's the character. So acting is just about bringing different stories to life, bringing different people to life. So that's always so much fun. Directing is a lot of fun. Theater directing, it's a lot of pressure because all of the decisions while working in theater, especially directing, is very collaborative work. You always work with a team of professionals, but the big picture is yours. So if everybody loves it, then you know you did a great job. If everybody hates it, then it's like, what were you thinking? You know, so And what was the other one? Writer?
Writer.
Playwright. Oh yeah.
Playwright.
I've been writing about 7 years now. I think it's important to represent who I am and where I come from. I write about Southern Black life.
Okay.
Because that's what I know, and those are the stories that I can most authentically tell. So I love to write. I always incorporate my family in one way or another in the stories that I tell, and I just think it's a great way to record history, record important things that have happened in my life and in my family's life, and just tell Southern Black stories, which I think we deserve a voice.
Yes, we definitely do. Now, let's speak on your work in the Lifetime movie. I know that must have been exciting for you.
It was so exciting. It was my first national credit, which is like, a lot of times when you tell people you're an actor, a lot of actors are not household names, and most consistent working actors that make a living acting aren't household names. But people are always saying like, well, what did you do? Or where can I see you? And a lot of times I was like, well, I've made a lot of independent film, or I do a lot of theater work where if you don't come out to see the show, then you won't have seen my work. So this is the first credit where I can say you can go to Lifetime, you can Google Steppin Into The Holiday, you can see me. Fast forward to the last 30 minutes of the movie.
So what was that experience like being on set?
It was wonderful. It's nerve-wracking because it's Mario Lopez, and I'm Gen X, so I grew up watching Saved by the Bell. So I knew him as Slater. But it's you see all the cameras, you see all of the crew and everybody that is coming together to make this production happen. So you have to like be on your mark and know your lines, and you can't waste time, especially because I'm like like a supporting cast member, and we really can't waste time. It's like, who are you? You can't,
right.
If Mario knows his lines, you need to know yours. So I was prepared, and I had a wonderful time. It was a lot of fun. They were very kind. Mario Lopez was very kind. So yeah, it was great.
Oftentimes I hear actors and actresses say it's a hurry up and wait type game.
Oh,
is that true?
For sure. Because it takes some time to set the cameras and do a run through, make sure that they've covered all the shots they want. So it is kind of like waiting for hours sometimes. And, you get into hair and makeup and costume and all that, but then you just kind of wait. And then, but when it's your time, you got to be ready. You got to know your lines
and action.
Right. You can't be like, wait, let me warm up. They're gonna be like, what you been doing all this time?
Right. So, you better know them lines.
Yeah, you better.
So how did your experience in that Lifetime movie influence your career as an actress and a director?
It's always great to watch behind the scenes and see how like lifelong professionals have done it. So just watching Mario Lopez, he like on a lunch break, I watched him tape a TV show, do a podcast, and do like a radio interview.
He's just multitasking.
Yes, and he was just a machine, just cranking out work. So it just reinforced those ideas of being super professional and being on your game, and being able to deliver when it's time for you to deliver.
And I'm glad that you said that. I always talk about delivering, telling people, if you know, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but if you know you cannot get the job done or cannot deliver, quit putting 1,000 things on your plate.
Yeah.
Like, can we normalize just saying no? That, you know what, thank you for considering me, but unfortunately, I will not be able to do this. Please contact me in the near future.
Yeah.
Like, can we normalize that? Because like you said, he was going. He was like a machine.
He was delivering. I think a lot of times, especially artistically, you want to take every opportunity that you can, because you never know when, this may be the one that'll catapult my career, or this may be the one where I can make the right connections and, get in front of the right people. So a lot of time artists want to take most opportunities that they get. And I'm grateful that I've worked long enough, especially in theater and in directing, that I stay pretty booked. And I'm so grateful that people want to work with me, but I'm also doing jobs that I love and enjoy. And I can say yes, like with a full heart and ready to give my all to it instead of feeling like I need to say yes because I need to prove myself and I need to like, bulk up my resume. So I'm grateful that I can say yes and it's all for very meaningful work.
But when it comes to you, I'm hearing you say you're disciplined too. Because
Yes.
you have to be disciplined.
Oh,
Because you
yeah.
can take on a lot of stuff. But the thing is, if you're not disciplined, it's not going to come out the way you intended it for it to come out.
Yeah.
It's going to look like you're all over the place.
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm just being real.
Yeah, you have to be focused for sure.
You have to be focused.
Like I'm in pre-production for 3 shows that I'll be directing between now and the spring of 2025.
Oh, wow.
So it just takes a lot of focus. It takes organization. It takes using, your schedule, putting things in your schedule, putting things on your calendar, putting reminders on your phone, clear communication, and like using your time wisely. I would love to like just sink into the couch, but I always have something to do. I'm always like, what can you be working on? What do you need to be reading on and studying on so you can be prepared for this meeting or this opportunity? And also I have to represent myself well because I'm a business.
Yes, you are. You're a brand as well.
Yeah. And so I have to, like you said, deliver. I have to show up prepared. I have to be knowledgeable of the story that I'm telling. And I have to make sure that the company that has hired me can trust me.
Right. And I love that about you. And I love that you answered the call and you delighted me with your presence. I know you are busy. I know. And I am grateful and appreciative that you came on. Yes. And gave me the nod of the yes.
Of course.
And I'm hoping I'm making it worth your while.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I love being here. This is fun.
Yes. You have directed plays using August Wilson's work. What draws you to his plays and how do you approach directing his material?
August Wilson's work is so dense, and me and one of my good friends, that's a director as well. We always say that August Wilson can have like a universe like the Marvel universe, the way that the stories are intertwined and the characters reappear in different scripts. So his work is so dense and like I could like study for months and still be discovering things. So I think you just have to approach it in a way where you can be successful in telling the story, because sometimes we can get so caught up in analysis and we can just read it and do so much table work and talk so much about the characters and talk so much about their backstory, but we usually have 6 weeks to get the show up. So we don't have a lot of time to delve as deeply as we want to. So usually when actors are cast, it's encouraged for them to go ahead and read up and study and start making up a backstory and getting some foundation so that when we approach the work, we can approach it with confidence and know that we will be able to tell the story thoroughly. But we have to know what we're talking about. So it takes a lot of studying. But yeah, he's a classic. I love his work.
And I was able to attend the piano lesson, and that was a great performance. When I say, oh my, what, like, that was like my first time seeing this play. And it was August Wilson's play, in just with my own eyes. And it was just like, oh, wow, why did I feel like the piano lesson was talking about my family from the country? It just gave me, my friend Keita, y'all know Keita, listening land, but she was with me. I kept tapping her saying, oh, Lord, this reminds me of my family. Like, oh, wow. But yeah,
that's what resonates when you tell an authentic story. Then a lot of people can relate. And culturally, Black people all the time, we're always like, did we all grow up in the same house? How do we all have the same experiences from all over the world? But that's when you're telling an authentic story, it's going to resonate.
Most definitely. Can you share a memorable experience or lesson from directing one of his plays?
Yes. August Wilson writes monologues that are sometimes like 3, 4 pages long.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tell actors from like the first rehearsal, I'm like, start learning your lines now
Wow.
so that you can be ready when it's time for us to get off book. And that means not rehearse with scripts in your hand. You should have your lines memorized by then. So, a great lesson I learned is pushing that even harder and giving actors tangible tools so that they can be successful. Because when I would just say, make sure you know your lines by so and so date, a lot of times that's not attainable for actors that aren't used to memorizing that amount of work. So I learned to start really equipping my actors day one and giving them tools so that they can be successful and that we don't have to do a lot of catch up work on the back end.
That makes sense. So, how do you balance your role as an actress and a director? Do you find one role more fulfilling than the other?
They're equally fulfilling. I don't act as much as I used to. Um, because gratefully I get to direct so much,
Mm-hmm.
and I love directing because I really love shaping the story and uh working collaboratively to build this world, and then I love to give it away. So I love when the show opens, like that's my last day of work. You give the show
Uh
away
huh.
and the stage manager runs the show, and it's great. It's like having a baby, and then you see them grow and walk and flourish on their own. So it's always very fulfilling to just give it away.
Oh, wow. So, are there particular challenges or advantages to wearing both hats in theater?
I think there's an advantage definitely to being an actor turned director because I know how to communicate with the actors,
Mm.
and I've been there, so I know when there's a tough scene, or I feel like I communicate well and can pull certain performances out of my actors, but it's because I
Mhm.
have the language and I have the experience as being a performer. So I think it's great to, it's hard to coach or teach somebody on how to do something that you've never done, that you've
Right.
maybe only read about or studied about, but I've done it. So I feel like I can guide them well. So that's a great
I
advantage.
was gonna say that's a real great advantage. Yes, because you're not just on the outside looking in.
Right.
You have a plethora of knowledge in the field, so that's always a plus. I bet they're like,
Mhm.
yes, I get to work with Alicia because they're gonna learn Alicia because they're gonna learn so much from you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I try to like every opportunity that I get,
Mhm.
I give 100%, and I just hope my goal is to always pour into my actors and to teach them more about themselves and what they can do, because there are a lot of times where actors are cast in a role and they may feel self-conscious or wonder, that imposter syndrome tends to seep in sometimes, where we feel like we don't belong there. But I
Mhm.
always tell my actors, like, if you didn't belong here, I wouldn't have put you in this
Cast you.
production. I
Mhm.
wouldn't set you up for failure. So that's my favorite thing, for actors to surprise themselves when working with me. So I can be like, I told you, I knew you had
They
it.
just bring out the best in them. What have been some of the highlights of your career thus far?
Hmm. One highlight for sure was directing at Nashville Rep,
Mhm.
when I was able to direct schoolgirls.
Yes.
I was the second Black woman ever to direct there, and the first one,
Yes, let's give it up for that.
the
Yes.
second ever,
Mhm.
the first one was the goat, Jackie Welch Schlicker. She is all things amazing and wonderful about being a Black artist in Nashville. And so it was an honor to follow in her footsteps, even though it was like 30 something years later. So,
Yes. And I saw that production of yours. I was there.
Thank you.
That was good. I just been following you for a long time now.
I appreciate it.
And I love, all about it. I think in my head that one day you're going to direct something with me in it. We're going to become like this real great production. We're going to produce something. Yes, and this duo. Like I feel it in my spirit. When the stars align and God gives me, what I need to get to your level. Because I feel he's going to get me there.
Oh, yeah. I believe it.
Yes, I do too, girl. I'm telling you, we're going to work together. Now, y'all heard it here. Because y'all know everything I say, I end up doing. So, I'm going to learn my lines. I'm going to remember them.
Okay.
Or you could just let me improv, whichever one.
Whichever one.
I had to just throw myself in there. I always tease Lisa. And it's so funny because I want to talk about, you're laughing, so you probably know where I'm going with this. So, y'all, I have to share this story. Oh, goodness. One day, we were together. And I decided I'm going to audition. But we were together for hours. So this kind of like went on for what? About an hour and a half, 2 hours. I played the baby mama. I played, what else did I play? The wife.
Yeah.
I played just about everything you can name. What else did I play?
I think it maybe like a businesswoman
or
a first lady or something.
The first lady.
You were showing your versatility.
Yes, I was showing her that I could cry at the drop of a dime. Don't even know how that happened, but I cried at the drop of a dime. I was telling her I'm very versatile. If you need it, holler at your girl, because I got you. Don't make me audition right now.
You're extremely talented.
Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah, I be trying. Let me say, most of the time I'm not even trying. It just keep coming out. Like, if you hang around me enough, you'll be like, hey, that girl. Like, I'll just go into, I don't even know where it comes from. I usually don't be trying to do it. It just come out. But in front of Lisa, it was like, I'm going to give me a role or something. Now, she was not able to come through and give me a role, but your girl looked out for me. She provided me with the gig of opening up for one of the productions that she was in, Only Fam.
Yes.
And I enjoyed that. So they got me a taste to be on that stage. I told y'all I was going to get to that stage, y'all. Remember last year I said, I'm going to be on the stage. And I was there.
Yeah.
So now we just got to get me into an acting gig.
Right.
So I'm ready. I'm ready.
For
so
sure.
Y'all look out for me, listening land, because I'm going to be there. So y'all touch and agree. Call your cast and companies. I guess I should start doing. I got to do the work first. Wait a minute.
Well, you have the stage presence, and that's the main thing. That you're not afraid to get in front of an audience.
No, I'm not afraid, y'all. Give me a mic and let me rip.
Right.
But yes. Ooh, yes. So, who are some of your biggest artistic inspirations, both within and outside of the entertainment industry?
I would say my favorite author is Toni Morrison. I love her. I have read all her work and most of her essays.
Before you go any further, for those that don't know, because I know, in case Listen Land, it's been under a rock, can you tell us who Toni Morrison is?
Toni Morrison is a Black author. She wrote, she wrote Beloved, which Oprah made into a movie. That's like one of her commercial projects. But she's a brilliant author. Jazz, Sula, The Bluest Eye.
She has a lot of body of work.
A Mercy. Recessive, her last work. She's just brilliant. Song of Solomon. These are all like some of my favorite books that she's written. She's just a very, like on the surface, you think you know what's going on, but you got to pay attention and dig a little deeper and read her books with a highlighter and a pencil, because she's going to come back around and hit you with something that you thought was nothing. She's everything to me, and I always wanted to meet her and be in her presence, but she passed away a few years ago. But God rest her soul. She's, in my opinion, the best that ever did it when it comes to being an author. So she inspires me to write with heart and write with truth, and not be afraid to write something uncomfortable, not be afraid for people to to like it or not, but just speak your truth and be real.
Right.
So, as far as actors, I'm really inspired by my community.
Oh, yes.
People that I can touch, people whose work that I can ingest, that I can perform, that I can support. I'm really inspired by my community. I have a wonderful group of friends that are also directors and writers and producers. Nashville is stacked with theatrical talent.
It is, y'all. And can you name some of them? Because I've met a few of them through you, and I have been like through you, I have been able to go and support them, and it has been a wonderful experience.
Sure. So the last time I was on stage in the show Only Fam, where you got to introduce it for us for a couple of nights, that was written by my friend Mary McCallum. She has Sister Style Productions that has been in existence, my goodness, probably 20 years of just original work and original production by a Black woman. So shout out to Mary. Sean Witzel, my dear, dear close friend and confidant, has Destiny Theater Experience. He's been in existence probably just as long, 15 to 20 years of just original written works, production, direction. He also has Focused Dreams Films where he makes independent movies as well. Just these are people, you know, whose work we can put our hands on, whose hands we can put our money in and tangibly support them. Just, you know, those are two off the top that consistently write, direct, and produce their own original work, you know. So, but there are like at least 20 others that I can name.
I know you have a whole bunch of them. Yes, because like I said, and you are all phenomenal.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying it because you're here. That's what I've said it in front of others, and I have told others to go out and support you all. I've put it on my social media pages.
I appreciate
because y'all have to see. It's like me telling you, but you have to be there to experience the work that these ladies and these gentlemen are putting on right here in Nashville. Listenerland, I'm coming to you from Nashville, so that's why we're speaking on Nashville. It's because it's right here in our own city. And y'all better get out here and support them.
For sure.
Now let me ask you this. Amid recent controversies such as Nikki Gilbert's lawsuit alleging that P-Valley infringes on her intellectual property, how do you ensure that your work remains original and avoids any potential copyright issues?
It's funny because I truly believe that there's nothing new under the sun. And when I would get inspired to write something, it's funny because I used to Google it and I'd be like, story about a family that's haunted by a ghost, you know, and I kept trying to like look up work to see, oh, has somebody already done this, or is a story very similar to this already out there? And then I was just like, so what? And I love the analogy of the bread aisle because they're like, look at all the different types of bread, and that doesn't stop people from making bread. That doesn't stop new people from making things that are already there. I think if it comes from you, it's unique. It's authentic. I mean, how many love stories are there? How many murder mysteries are there? How many bank heists are there? So, you know, I just say, you know, that's an unfortunate situation with the lawsuit and how things have transpired, but you know, speaking positivity and hoping that hoping the best, because you know, I do understand as an artist when you feel like someone may have taken your work. I understand that. And really you just have to put your work out there, and you copyright your own work. Even with like the songs that I've written for different operas, we had to copyright our work, and people wanted to sing it and put it in their like audition reels, which are like splices of all your work that you send out to different agencies, or if you want to audition for something. And we had to like put a halt to it until we were able to copyright it and get our work protected. So I would say just always protect your work, even if it's the poor man's copyright where you mail it to yourself in a sealed envelope. Like if you
wait a minute, what now?
like if you write a script, mail it to yourself in a sealed envelope and it'll have the post date on it.
Oh wow. Didn't know that. Just learned something new.
Just something to, if that's the best you can do. And sometimes that's all people have, they don't have the money to go through the process to copyright it, or have a lawyer or somebody like file paperwork for them. But yeah, it's like you can't worry about who's already doing it. You just gotta do your thing and tell your own story. The same way my friend Mary McCallum wrote a play, 6888, about the All Black Women's Battalion that cleared the back mail log years ago. We've been all over the world performing that play. New York, California, Florida, Georgia, and now Tyler Perry's making a movie about it. So, she has nuance to her story that I'm sure he won't have in his movie, but it's about the same people, just like how many MLK movies are there? How many Michael Jackson movies are there? So really just be authentic and true to what you feel you have to say, and you'll be fine.
That's what I was hoping that you was going to say. As long as your work is authentic, you can have, like you said, some ghost stories, whatever.
Yeah.
But as long as you're not actually taking someone else line for line, everything, then it's like, look how I'm looking.
Yeah, because then you're going to get sued and you deserve it.
Right. So as an African-American actress and director, how do you think casting choices like Haley Bailey as Ariel contribute to diversity and representation in mainstream media, particularly for young African-American audiences?
Oh, I loved it. I think representation is so important. And like Ariel was a cartoon character. So it wasn't like a biopic where you have to look like the person whose story you're telling. Right. She's a fictional character that can look like anything. And I loved that Disney decided to go with a Black Ariel. And I loved all the little Black girls that got to see that and got to imagine and dream and see themselves. And I love all the little girls, period, that didn't care. So shout out to the parents who didn't even stress what color Ariel is, but just took their kids to see a beautiful movie. So,
because I was really surprised. Like, it was like, what? When it kept saying, not my Ariel. And I was like, we really doing this?
Yeah.
This is a kid, like you said. This is a fictional character. Why are we really doing this?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe that many people was outraged at that time. Like, I really couldn't.
Like, it's surprising how much people want to hate.
That part.
It's surprising how much people just want to hate. They want to hate progress of Black and brown people. They want to hate diversity. They want to hate growth, free thinking, So it's always surprising. It's surprising, but not. But, like, if there's something to hate, somebody will find it.
What you said. In what ways do you think Tyler Perry's success in creating his productions has shifted the landscape for African American artists in Hollywood and beyond?
I think what Tyler Perry has contributed to Hollywood is immeasurable. I had the opportunity to go to his studios, and you would not believe the vastness of his studios and what he has built for Hollywood to be able to enjoy and use for productions. He employs so many Black actors and gives so many unknown actors opportunities to work and get paid. My friend Sean, that I spoke about earlier, made a post maybe a week or so ago where he was talking with somebody and they were like, Tyler Perry films are their own genre. And I was like, I totally agree.
I could see that.
Like, you know, you're going to get some farce. You're going to get some unbelievable fights. You're going to get, you know, some stuff that makes you laugh. But it's a Tyler Perry movie. Like when people say, I'm going to see a Tyler Perry movie, you know what to expect. And that comes from building a strong brand.
Yep.
So,
it really does.
Kudos to him. He can hire me.
What you said, I'm available. Now, considering how films like Divorcing a Black that he just released received a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, what are your thoughts on film critics?
Everybody has an opinion. And all that is just what they think. So really, it matters how you feel.
Right.
Like, do you care what everybody thinks about you? Or do you care that you have achieved your goal of writing, directing, and producing and putting something out into the world? Like, that's true manifestation. You think it, you speak it, you do it.
Yep.
Instead of, you know, a lot of, oh, I could have done this, or oh, that wasn't even all that good, or oh, I could have wrote something better than that. Well, do it. Do it. But, you know, I just, like, I appreciate, especially our Nashville critics, Amy Stumpful, Jeff Ellis. We have wonderful critics that come out, Jeff Pinkerton, that come out to our shows and help us get the word out, help us, you know, they review our shows, they get it in publications for us, they help us to build audiences, and we value them so much. Whether they like the show or not, we value them for just coming to the show and giving your opinion. But it's really up to you. Like, you know, do you live and die by what someone thinks?
I always say stuff is subjective. Because just because you like something, I might not like it, and vice versa.
Right.
But I want to say, you see, when I get I'm going to drop this little gem. See, let me just sit up. See, critics, I want y'all to feel me on this. They are like the front row audience in your play. They are there. They have an opinion, but their view is not the whole show. Can I get an amen, somebody? Can I get an amen? See, you got to stay focused on delivering your best performance, regardless.
Yes.
Ooh, baby, I told y'all finna drop a gem. Now I need y'all to listen and listen up. Because, woo, baby, this is not just about theater, what I'm telling you. I need this to resonate, listener land. It's a metaphor for life. Don't let others' opinions overshadow your journey. Stay true to yourself and keep pushing forward. Y'all know I gotta give y'all a gem on this podcast. It wouldn't be right if I didn't. Don't mind me, Lisa. I have to drop these gems because, baby, you gotta help these people out here. Because some people will not come see your work just because somebody else gets on the internet. Oh, I went to go see da 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 da. It was horrible. But I can get on there and say, were we at the same play? This was great. This character displayed emotion. I could resonate. I can give a whole, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't resonate with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, you know, it's unfortunate, but some people live and die by what people think, by perception. And unfortunately, that's not a free way to live. Like, imagine the bondage, people, you know?
Just go see it for yourself or go read the book, whatever it is. View it for yourself.
Experience it for yourself.
Thank you. Experience it for yourself.
For sure.
Now we're going to have a little fun.
Okay.
We're going to play this or that. I'm going to throw out something. You tell me what you like.
Okay.
When it comes to stage or screen, would you rather perform on stage or in front of the camera?
Stage.
Okay. Comedy or drama? Do you prefer acting in a comedy role or dramatic role?
Dramatic.
Okay. Oh, that's shocking. You know it. Okay.
Because I'm very playful in life, but I love telling a real heartfelt, pull at your heartstrings story.
Okay. Live audience or recording performances? Performing in front of a live audience or filming a scene that will be seen later?
Live audience, always.
Okay. Shakespeare, I know the answer to this probably, but Shakespeare or August Wilson, if you had to choose.
August Wilson, all day.
I knew it. Hero or villain? If you're given a choice, would you rather play a hero or the villain?
Villain.
Okay.
Because the villain, always has a reason why they're the villain. And that's what makes you root for the bad guy. We all root for the bad guy sometimes because you see their humanity.
So would you do an indie film or blockbuster? Acting in an independent film with creative freedom or a big budget blockbuster with extensive resources?
I would do the blockbuster for the check and then I would make the indie film.
Okay. Backstage or front row? Would you rather experience a production from the backstage, seeing all behind the scenes action, or from the front row?
Front row. I love sitting close.
Now, I want to get inside your brain a little bit.
Okay.
If you could work with one of the following directors, Ava DuVernay, Spike Lee, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, or Ryan Coogler, who would you choose and why?
My God.
I know.
Spike Lee.
Okay, why Spike Lee?
I love his movies because no matter, he's an icon.
Yes.
But his movies, to me, always, all of his movies, no matter the budget, always have that indie feel where, he's got his classic double dolly shot that I look for in every film that he does, that I would love to have one day, be in a Spike Lee film and do the double dolly shot.
Okay.
But the double dolly shot is in his films where it seems like the person is standing still and everything is moving behind them, but they're just like kind of focused on the camera and they're being pulled by like a double dolly. So it's called a double dolly shot. But I just think all of his films still feel like art. They still feel like just an artist telling a story, and they're not so flashy and shiny that you lose the heart.
That makes sense. I can see that. So what advice would you give aspiring actors and directors?
Make artistic friends so you all can collaborate and put some art out into the world. I initially wanted to be an actor, so I went to auditions and I made friends with people that were writing plays, and I remained professional that way. They would want to cast me in their plays. I would say if you want to make a film, write it. Make friends with people that like to produce, that like to be behind the camera. Make friends with people that love fashion, that love makeup, because you're going to need all of it on your set.
Yeah.
So I would just say collaborate. Get out into the community, go see plays, go to indie film nights and meet artists and just make something.
When you said write a play, it jogged something in me. I wrote a book many years ago, self-published a book called The Ultimate Betrayal. And I always wanted to either make it a movie or a stage play. And I already had my cast. Like, I used to be so excited. Then it kind of was like, no, I don't think that's what I want to do. Some kind of way I lost my spark. But when you just said that, I was like, I may need to revisit that.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see that book either as a movie or a stage play.
And you already have the story. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
So yeah, an adaptation. There are blockbuster movies that are adaptations from books.
So I'm gonna have to get back to writing. So behind every dream chaser, it's often a dedicated support system. What does your support system look like?
Oh man, I have the best people in my life. God has given me such a wonderful community of like chosen family.
Oh, wow.
I have my cousin Keita.
Keita.
that has been all things to me. A friend, a mother, a sister. I couldn't ask for a better person to just push me. And she's always positive, and I be wilding sometimes.
I know that's what I feel about her. Always, I know
she is, and I'm like, how do you do it? Or I'll be like, I need your energy, I need your positivity, I need your glow, and she always has it to spare. I have my best friend Toya who keeps me alive and pushes me and checks in on me and loves me and supports me. I have my best friend Sean who supports me and pours into me and encourages me. I got Mary, Tamiko, Molly, Janae, Rashad. I've got Jessica, I've got Amy, I got Infinity Fellowship, Jeff and Kanitha. I've got my dad, I've got my cousin Kenton, I've got my whole Nashville theater arts community, from actors to writers to directors to producers to light designers to costumers to makeup artists. Everybody, like, we are one family, and it takes that to be successful.
It does.
I could not do anything by myself, anything. And I want to go far. So you can only go far together. So you got to make sure you have your people, you have your day ones that you can count on, especially when you start to get success and you start to make money. It's important to have your foundation.
Because it's going to keep you humble.
Keeps you grounded, keeps you humble, keeps you from losing yourself.
Yeah. Because we've seen a lot of people get to Hollywood and just
lose themselves. Yeah.
So I want to touch on this real quick. Local productions can sometimes face challenges, as you are aware, with the attendance, as we talked about earlier. How important do you think it is for the community to support local artists, and what message would you like to share about the impact of audience engagement on local productions?
It takes a want. It takes a want to support, because it's easy to, on a weekend, go to a happy hour, go to a bar, go to karaoke, go out to eat, go out to drink, go out to the club. It's easy to do that, but you have to want the arts in the community. Yes. And you have to realize how important the arts are. And it just comes from genuine support. So I would say just, if you know someone that's an artist, any type of artist, if they're an independent musician, if they're a writer, if they're an actor, go to their shows and bring 2 friends.
Thank you. Or 3, 4, 5, 6 of them.
Yeah. Yes. You gotta support your people, and you have to support your community, because I always say this, when the pandemic happened and the world shut down, everybody went to the arts. It was the artists that kept us all going. We went home and read books. We watched movies. We watched TikToks. We watched creators on YouTube teaching us how to make sourdough bread. It was the creatives that kept the world going and kept us alive. We watched D-Nice. I watched Club Quarantine every time he was on. I had alert set. Every time he went live, I was on there. So, for music. So just the arts move the world.
Does. Now, before we wrap this episode up, what legacy do you hope to leave through your contributions to theater and film?
If anything, I want to provide opportunities, especially for other Black women.
Okay.
I'm grateful for the Black women that taught me, Persephone Felder-Fentress, my professor at Fisk University, who taught me so much about how to be an artist, how to conduct myself on stage. Shout out to my stage crafters, all my stage crafter family from Fisk. So my legacy is just to provide opportunity, open a door, and bring my sisters with me, because Black women, we are so powerful. We are natural leaders. We're so creative from how we present ourselves in the world with our fashion. Like, look at you, Kiana,
Yes,
like
look at me,
with our fashion, with our vibe. And it's just, I want to uplift Black women, Black people as much as I can. So my legacy is, if I gave somebody an opportunity, that they gave somebody an opportunity, and they gave somebody an opportunity.
Amen to that. Thank you, Alicia,
Yay!
for coming on and gracing us with your presence. I know you're a very busy lady, and I want to say thank you, thank you,
Of
thank
course,
you, thank you,
this
thank
is
you.
so much fun.
You have become part of this podcast family, and you're welcome back anytime.
Oh, thank you. I'll be back. I'll definitely be back.
Yes, you will, because we got to chat it up again. Now, where can the people, before we get out here, because I didn't ask you, and they may need to know. No, they don't they need to know.
Okay.
Where they can get in touch with you to get to your next production.
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Alicia, ALICIA .Haymer, HAYMER. That's on Instagram. You can go to my website. It's aliciahaymer.com, and you can keep up with me. You can contact me through there if you want to hire me, if you want to have a consultation, anything like that. You can also follow Verge Theater, VERGE Theater, or you can go to our website, Verge Theater Co., and you can keep up with all of the art that I produce. And between those ways, you'll be able to find me and figure out what I'm
y'all
doing.
make sure you keep up with it, because she has some good stuff in the works. Real talk. To chase your dreams is to dare to live boldly, to immerse yourself in the transformative power of theater, where every role is a canvas for your soul's expression. Hey ladies, ready to elevate your style game? From timeless classics to the hottest trends, we've got something for everyone. Visit theclosetexperience.com and save 10% today with code PODCAST. That's PODCAST. Theclosetexperience.com. What's in your closet? Theclosetexperience.com. What's in your closet? Be sure to use code PODCAST, PODCAST, and save that 10%. Theclosetexperience.com. What's in your closet?